all of our elected judges go through a training that tells them what's the best way to respond to a lengthy variety of things that might happen in the polling place. Everything from just inconveniences and spills to what if you have, some sort of really ugly confrontation going on. They all know how to handle it, but we pay close attention to all of our sheriff and police departments in the areas, making sure that they know where all the polling places are so that they're along their normal patrols for those days. That and then our computer security apparatus is really what makes the difference in the polling place itself being the safest way to vote, because the voting centers are not connected to the internet in any way. Now, there are plenty of other security items to worry about, but the fact that there's no pathway to get to the polling places should be of comfort to voters.
We have our officers that are conducting directed patrols to see if they can identify who these people are that are doing the vandalism and the criminal mischief, and they'll take appropriate action if and when they catch them. But for the voters, they need to understand that we've had very, very few complaints that have been coming from the polling places. People have been able to go and vote. The lines are long, but people are doing very well with the COVID restrictions and peacefully waiting in line and exercising their right to vote. And I have no information that would say that that should not continue. I really do believe that people are safe to go out and vote. We're doing what we call directed patrols, which means that we will, when an officer is tied up on another call, we'll be able to drive by and just make sure that everything looks like it's going fine. But we are not stationed outside of polling places or really going to them unless called. And like I said, those calls really have not been coming. The election and the voting has been going off really without a hitch. Well, I'll just tell you that we are staying in communication with our public safety partners, including DPS and the Travis County Sheriff's Office, to make sure that they know, we're all kind of coordinating with one another. Everybody knows what the other one has in place, has ready to respond in case we have large mass gatherings or any kind of problems that might occur post-election. I can tell you at this time, we do not have any information that anything is planned. And right now we are hoping that the polls will close and then the process will play itself out to tell us who has won in each one of the races. But we have no information that would tell us right now that there's going to be any kind of illegal activity or large mass gatherings. So, we have to be ready in case there are large gatherings that might become unlawful or do become unlawful. And particularly if we have people that might be on different ends of the political spectrum, that, you have two groups that are squared up against one another. We want to make sure that there's no violence and that each group has the ability to come out and speak their mind, but do it in a lawful, peaceful manner. And so we've done that for a long time for, around the state capitol, being the the state seat here in Austin. We are kind of used to those kind of gatherings, but the larger they get, the harder they are to manage, and so we have to be prepared for that. So we have put in place some plans to go on tactical alert next week. Our department will be on alert and ready to respond if needed. But like I said, right now we have no information that anything unlawful is planned. Post-election, we are really in a state of preparedness. There is no plan to mobilize additional officers. What we are doing is the officers that are on duty that normally might be in an office setting or in some, plainclothes type assignment will all be in uniform and ready to respond at a moment's notice with their gear if something were to pop up. People can certainly gather and protest. That is not against the law. They just have to be mindful of not blocking roadways and, obviously not causing property damage, not doing violence unto, somebody else or something like that. As far as the gear goes, yes, that would be something similar to what we've seen in some of the other protests, so that to keep our officers safe. So safety equipment and the equipment that we need if we do have to make arrests and so forth, that would all be part of that.